Okay. So I know that there was a lot of people that wanted to be on today, but the timing didn't work. So this will be recorded. I will be sending it out afterwards. Good morning. I did put some information in the chat that I will at the end go over a little bit about why NEXA, but that is, we're doing a why NEXA in Michigan. We have them multiple times a year. So at the end, if you are interested in coming, just go ahead and send me an email and I will explain all of that to you. So before we begin, I just want to explain a little bit about who this webinar is for. So if you are on here, you are either a loan officer right now, trying or just, trying to get a feel for what NEXA might be all about. Or you might be a real estate agent on here that is interested about our reload program. So I am going to go into that a little bit. Or you could be a sales professional that's interested in our business development program. So I will be going over all of that as well. If you are not in mortgage right now, there might be some pieces of this, and I promise this is a quick webinar. It's not going to be drawn out, but there might be some things that you might not understand. So don't worry about it. It's okay, but that's who this webinar is for right now. So I'm going to get started and share my screen. And hold on one second. Okay, so here we go. Can everybody see my screen? Just type in the chat. I just want to make sure you're able to see my screen. Yes, perfect. Okay, sounds good. All right, so why NEXA Lending? We actually just recently changed the name from NEXA Mortgage to NEXA Lending. And there's been a lot of misconception on who NEXA Mortgage is. And so we are both a broker and a correspondent lender. So I'm going to go into that in just a little bit, but this is my contact information. Make sure you jot it down. If you have any questions afterwards, you can text me at that number, call me at that number, send me an email, go to my website. It's all there. But I want to start out with my story, okay? And of course, I'm having technical difficulties over here. Okay, so I want to start out with my story just so you know a little bit about who I am. I've been in the real estate and mortgage business for a very long time, since 2001. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life after I graduated from college in Boston, and I, on a whim, moved to Florida, did not know anybody, and just started looking for a job. And I got started at AmeriQuest Mortgage, a subprime lender, back in 2001 as a loan officer. And then moved to Southwest Florida, opened up my own real estate and mortgage company, and the market crashed in 2008. So that was some fun times. In 2008, I actually closed my mortgage company and decided to go full-time into real estate. I moved to Miami, Florida, and I sold real estate exclusively in Miami from 2008 until 2016. And then we decided, my kids were little, my parents were in Southwest Florida, and I said, let's just move closer to them so my kids can be around their grandparents. And we travel a lot. And so every time we were traveling, when I was selling real estate, it was like my income was on this sales roller coaster, because if I was not prospecting expired listings every day, my business was going down. So I said, you know what, with mortgage, I can work anywhere. We can travel, I can work anywhere in the world. So I decided to go back into mortgage. I started at Movement Mortgage, which was an amazing company. I absolutely loved it. I was there from 2016 to 2019, but the biggest thing that I had with Movement was that in my market, it can be very, very competitive. And I felt like I was getting beat out by interest rates a lot. So our rates were higher than I felt like some of the other companies were. So I said, I want to make a move. So where did I go? I went to Guaranteed Rate, who promises the lowest rates, but what they don't deliver is a good customer experience. So I moved over to Guaranteed Rate. I had to stay there for 2 years. I don't want to talk negatively about anybody, but it was not a good fit at all for me. So after the 2 years, I was definitely looking to make a move. I moved over to CMG Financial. CMG was awesome. I loved working for CMG. And then Hurricane Ian came and destroyed our area. So when Hurricane Ian came, I said, I need a lot of other products that CMG does not have to offer. I need fix and flip loans. I need investor loans. I need a lot of different things that I'm not getting at CMG. And if I wanted to sustain my business, especially in an area that was completely devastated by, by a hurricane, I had to make some moves. So because I've already moved from movement to guaranteed rate to CMG in a short period of time, I said, I really need to take my time and do my due diligence. I had a friend that was at NEXA and he said, why don't you come over here? And I was like, broker, I don't really know. Like, I'm scared about going to a broker. So I ended up going to the NEXA in Michigan. That was in May, and I did not join NEXA until October because I wanted to make sure the next company that I went to, I was staying. I was not going to be making a move. And I can tell you, I am so incredibly happy. I'm coming up on my 2-year mark when I usually get that itch to make a move, and I have zero desire to go anywhere else. So I am currently at NEXA Lending. My real estate license is at eXp Realty. I don't sell real estate, but I do hang my license there. So if you are currently in retail lending, you might be thinking about, oh my gosh, what is the broker world like? Which is exactly what I was thinking. I was scared. I didn't know what to think. When you're at a retail lender, you have the support, right? You know who your loan processor is going to be because you're assigned one. You pretty much are used to the same underwriters. You know the guidelines. So I was just thinking I was going to be have to do so much more work. It was going to be so confusing. I wasn't going to understand the underwriting. What were the turn times going to be like? Who is my processor going to be? How are the processors going to get paid? I was literally scared to go broker. But I get so many of these, and these are just within the past week on same day loan approvals, clear to close in 9 days. I've had clear to close in 7 days. I've had clear to close less than that. So these are from UWM, who's one of the major brokers that we work with. But I can tell you that I've worked with so many other lenders also, and I still have fast turnaround times because your account executive with these other lenders become your best friend. They want you to close deals with them. And NEXA wants to make sure that all of the lenders that we work with are doing a good job for us. So your account executives are the ones that you bounce ideas off of, that you'll call with an income scenario to see if it can be done before it will even go to underwriting. And this allows you to close so many more deals. So at NEXA, which I didn't realize before I went to NEXA, because the person that brought me over does mostly broker. He mostly brokers his loans. Well, because I've been used to retail for so long, 95% of my loans are non-del, or what's called correspondent. So if you're used to retail, it's almost the same thing as retail when it comes to your comp and stuff like that. I'll explain in a minute. But what's different is that you have a million different lenders that you can go to on the non-del side. So you have the opportunity when you join NEXA to either broker a loan or do a correspondent loan. You can do either or, which is amazing. And if you're not in mortgage right now, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. If you are in mortgage, you do, right? So you can broker the loans or you can go non-del, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a second. But we have access to over 265 lenders. So there's no more saying that you can't do a loan for somebody. You can say yes to any type of loan there is. So whether it's a residential loan, commercial loan, business loan, SBA, somebody's looking for equipment financing, business funding, HELOC, fix and flip, any loan there is out there, you can now say yes to. I have a loan right now that's an investment property in Naples. He was looking for a hard money loan, and I'm able to do a $2 million refinance, no ratio. So no income at all, no ratio. Um, we only need one bank statement for 30 days with 6 months reserves and a 700 credit score. Okay. So these are the types of things that I am now able to say yes to that I wasn't able to say yes to before. So if you're not licensed in a specific state, and I'll use Massachusetts for example, because I'm from Massachusetts and that's the only state that NEXA is not licensed in yet. They're working on it, but they're not licensed yet in Massachusetts. But I'm closing loans in Massachusetts for real estate investors because if they can close in an LLC and you're doing a real estate investment loan, closing in the name of an LLC, you do not have to be licensed in that state to close those loans. So you can close them without being licensed in that state, which is awesome. We have out of the country loans. So Spain and Portugal are two countries that we can do loans in. We have multiple down payment assistance options, bank statement, no ratio, you name it. And the awesome thing is that let's just say you get a loan for reverse mortgage and you have no idea how to do a reverse mortgage. You can refer it to one of our loan officer support coaches and get 75 basis points. You don't even have to do anything on the loan. You're just referring the loan to them and you're going to get the 75 basis points once it closes. You have the option on the broker loans to do a lender paid comp, which will pay 275, and I'm going to get into the comp in a minute. Or you can go borrower paid comp. And so when I first was coming over to the broker world, I wasn't really understanding what that meant. And so when you're used to pricing on the retail side, you're used to pricing where it's just like a par rate and you know what your comp is. Like a lot of people out there are making like 1 point or 1.25. With NEXA, you can close the same amount of loans you're closing right now and double your income because of how we get paid. Okay. So on the broker loans, with the borrower paid comp, let's just say, and I'll use me for an example. Let's just say the max we can get paid is 275. Well, I know that in my market, we're very, like I was saying before, we're very competitive. People are savvy, they shop around. So for my best pricing, where I'm usually able to win every deal, I price my loans at 250. So I would go borrower paid comp and price it at 250 instead of the 275. So you can price your deals wherever you want. And that's what's also going to allow you to, win the deals. You don't have to go to a manager and say, "Hey, can I lower the interest rate?" You have the ability to lower the interest rate on your own without asking anybody for permission. On the non-delegated or the correspondent side, which is similar to retail, you can make as much as you want, pretty much. You can put your margin at 300 if you wanted to, so you can go over the 275. The other awesome thing is that when you're with a retail lender like CMG or Movement Mortgage or whatever, okay, if you submit your loan to underwriting and the underwriter discovers something in the loan file that is a problem, that is going to kill the deal, well, guess what? The deal is dead. With us, what is awesome is that if you send a loan to underwriting and the underwriter discovers something that can kill the deal, but you know how to fix it, right? You just pull the loan from that lender, get a denial from that lender, and send it to another one. So you have the ability to send your loan to another lender if one lender denies it for whatever reason. I had another loan recently where the debt to income ratio was at like 56%. It was FHA. We all know that you can go up to 56%, but I kept getting a refer with this one particular lender. I pulled it and I'm thinking FHA is FHA. I'm not going to be able to get an approval. Pulled it, sent it to another lender, and we closed it in a week because I already had the appraisal. I already had everything. The other great thing is that you can order your own appraisal through your preferred AMC. So a lot of times, if I'm not sure if a property is going to appraise, or I'm curious what the market rent is going to be, I can call my preferred AMC and they will talk to the appraiser about the appraisal before I even order it to see if it's even a deal. Okay, so you have the ability to really take control over your business, and I cannot even begin to tell you how freeing it feels when you're finally at a lender like this and you don't feel all of the red tape that a lot of the retail lenders have. So I'm not going to get too much into this, but non-delegated versus retail, we're not the same. It's different. It's similar, but it's not the same. We don't underwrite the loans. The lender underwrites the loan. Okay. So if I send a loan to PennyMac is underwriting that loan. If I send a loan to UWM is underwriting that loan. The reason why that's awesome is because they might have different underwriting guidelines, or like I said before, you might have to pull that file from one lender and send it to another one to get it to close. So we offer rates on the non-del side just as good as broker rates, if not better. You have the ability to make more money, and your comp is not disclosed on the CD. So on the broker side, for example, let's just say you're making $10,000, okay? You're making $10,000 on the deal. Well, your buyer is going to see the $10,000 yield spread that you're making on that deal, okay? On the non-delegated side, they don't see anything, which is the other thing that I love about non-del. Okay, so NEXA, having the broker side and the non-del side is a huge plus, and I know a lot of people don't realize that. They think we're just a broker, and we're not. So what NEXA offers: number one, you have the ability to be a 1099 or a W-2. I will preface this so to say, some states require you to be a W-2. Okay. So if they do, you have to be a W-2. What I love about this is for the past however many years, when I have been working at retail, lenders, I have business expenses, whether I'm ordering business cards or paying for, print at my home office, ink, paper, whatever. I have business expenses that I could never write off because I was a W-2. As a 1099, I now have the ability to write off all of my business expenses. Also, if you come to NEXA and you're a W-2, we have something that's called a divvy card, and you get your divvy card and you can expense all of the expenses on your divvy card, which will reduce your taxable income. So that is another awesome thing. You still have the ability to expense your business expenses if you are a W-2. Okay. So how much do you have to pay every single month? You have to pay $80 a month if you're a 1099, or $75 if you're a W-2. That's going to come with your NEXA email. It's going to come with your loan officer support login, which I'm going to take you through that in a second. And it's going to come with either Lending Pad or Arrive. Those are the two LOSs that we use. A lot of people love Arrive. Honestly, Lending Pad is fine for me. I don't spend a lot of time in it. I use my processors for everything. And yeah, so that's really it. You do have to pay for your credit reports or have the client pay. You get reimbursed when those files close. The processing fees get paid by the borrower at closing. So you're not paying for your processor. That gets paid for by your borrower at closing. And you can hire an LOA or have your LOA and processor be the same person, and that can also get paid for at closing. So I'm going to talk a little bit in a minute about ledger money in our NEXA 100, but we have a NEXA 100 program where you can earn 100% on your deals. And then I'm going to show you in a second how that works, but any overage goes into your ledger, okay? So then all of your ledger money just sits there, and I racked up a pretty good amount of ledger money, and I'm going to show you what my ledger pays for. But the money will go into your ledger. So you're always going to either be getting all of your pay, or anything that's over will go into your ledger to be used for expenses. The other awesome thing about NEXA is we have downline income. So if you bring people into the company that they're really encouraging you to do, you will then get paid on people when they close a loan. You will get a portion of that revenue share. And we also have health insurance. My daughter went to the dermatologist yesterday. There was no out-of-pocket expense. So the health insurance is really good. We have NEXA University. So if you're a brand new loan officer, let's just say that you just got your license or you're recruiting brand new loan officers. We have an awesome 6-month training program that they can go through where they get, I think it's 2 to 3 live coaching calls a week. They get a ton of support. And really, it's designed to help them, show them how to prospect, how to close the deals. They're there to help them get at least 6 loans closed within that 6-month training program, if not more. So I'm going to show you how much support we have in just a second, but we also have a private internal Facebook page so that any scenario, like I had a scenario the other day, I have a DSCR loan that came in with like super low rent. And so I need like basically a no ratio DSCR loan. So I put it in my internal page and people comment as to the different lenders they would use or the experience that they have. It is probably one of the best, most interactive Facebook pages. So all of the support, if you're coming over to NEXA, is there for you. We have tons of webinars in our LOS coach and our Women of NEXA program, which meets, I think it's every other week, and there's always different speakers. So I'm going to show you guys in just a second. We're going to hop into the back end of NEXA. Before I get into the comp, let me see. Okay, so I don't have any questions. So this is how the comp works, and I know it can be a little confusing at first, but when I mentioned the NEXA 100, how that works is when you first come on, okay, for the first 6 months, you can get NEXA 100 on every loan that you close. If you send that loan to UWM, EPM, MLB, PennyMac, or Deep Haven, we just added 2 more and they're continuing to add more lenders. Those are the lenders I use normally anyways. So the way that it works is we have a max comp that we're able to make. So let's just say that I price the loan at 275, okay? My comp after NEXA's split is 220. The difference between the 220 and the 275 goes to my ledger. So I don't get that difference, but I get the full 275 because the difference between those two amounts is going to my ledger. So my ledger is, I can look at it all day long if I wanted to. It sits there, the money goes, so I get paid through Every into my bank account for my commission. The other amount goes into my growth and marketing ledger. And then what I do is I just submit expenses to my ledger and they reimburse me in the form of a direct deposit. So I can submit expenses for Facebook ads, marketing, the affiliate dues for the board of realtors, basically anything you use to grow your business, travel, airport, if you want to go to seminars, events. I went to my EXPCon. I got reimbursed for that because it was a marketing seminar. Anything to grow yourself as a person or to grow your business, Zoom, Canva, subscriptions, credit reports, right? So if you're not having your client pay for the credit reports, you're paying for them, you can get reimbursed through your ledger. After the 6 months is up, in order to stay on NEXA 100, you have to have one person in your downline, which means you have to recruit one person to NEXA. And then they have to close a loan that month. So you can't just like recruit people that are not doing anything and still get the NEXA 100. So I pretty much get NEXA 100 almost every single month. I'm going to tell you, I only have 3 people under me. So the most I think I've made was like $1,200, but still that's $1,200 of me not doing anything. I have somebody that's a good friend of mine that made $13,000 last month and he does not have a huge downline, right? So The more people you bring in that are actually producing, and there are people at NEXA that all they do is recruit and bring people to NEXA. They don't even do any loans. They just recruit and bring people to NEXA. If you want to do that, you can do that. It's just if you don't close a loan that month, in order to get your recruiting, money, you have to pay $700, right? So if you don't close a loan that month, but you have people on your downline that did, you just pay $700. So you literally can just bring people on and not do any deals. But I want to talk about and stress the importance of multiple streams of income. If you are on this call and you're a real estate agent, we're going to talk about the reload program in a second. That's not only good for the real estate agents, but also good for the loan officers at NEXA. But we need to be looking at multiple streams of income, because if you have been in real estate or mortgage for as long as I have, we all know that the market is up and down, right? So we want to make sure that we are getting income from other sources, or else if we only rely on our closed deals, right, for our income, then we're always going to have some sort of struggle at some point. So these are ways that you can make money that is passive. All you're doing is bringing people in. So this is basically the comp structure. I'll show you in a second. We'll go over it just a little bit more. The other great thing is when your loan closes, you submit your loan to payroll and you're getting paid within a couple of days. Some people get paid the same day. It just depends on how busy payroll is, but you're not waiting for the 1st and the 15th. When you get paid, when you submit your loan to payroll, you're going to be getting paid. So if you bring 5 people into NEXA, okay, then you get 100% on every loan over 3 million for that month. If you bring 10 people in, it's over 2 million for that month. If it's 15, it's over 1 million. And if you have 20 people under you, you will get 100% on every single loan. Okay. So that's the way that it works. But like I said, NEXA 100 on every loan if you bring in 1 person. So let's just look at a quick comp calculation. Okay, so let's just say you're doing a broker loan. Okay, you charge 275, you minus the 25 basis points. And then if you're below 2 million for the month, if you're above 2 million, then you'll get the full comp. So then you're looking at 250. You deduct NEXA's 12% rev share and your net is 220. So if you're pricing at 275, you're going to get paid 220. I price mine at 250 and then I usually end up with 198. That's how all of mine pretty much are, including refis. So I know a lot of people will go lower on the refis, but mine is the same on refis. If you do a non-delegated loan, so that was on broker, okay? Let's just say you put your margin at 350. Then you're minusing the 25, you're at 325, minus the NEXA comp, 12%, and then you're at 286 on the non-del side. Think about VA loans. Think about reverse mortgages, right? Reverse mortgage, people can get paid a lot more on those than they can on just the regular conventional loans. Your non-del with ledger funds. So this is just showing you how it would go if the money went to the ledger fund. Sorry, this is very touchy here. So 350 minus the 25 is 325 minus 12% rev share. 220 would go to you, and then 68 basis points would go to your ledger. Now, if you are a W-2, they're going to take out 12% for the taxes. So just keep that in mind. But if you can be a 1099, be a 1099. So ledger money, where does it go? Done by One CRM, that is my CRM. If you guys want to check it out, it's at donebyone.ai and click on the real estate or the pros at the top. And you can see everything we have to offer, where prices are going up at the end of the month. I just had to give a little plug for my CRM there. But if you are doing any sort of online ads, direct marketing, print ads, air travel, because you're traveling to a conference, you pay for your office. I have a local office in Bonita Springs. It comes out of my ledger funds. This is the other best part, virtual assistants. So if you wanted to hire a loan officer assistant, let's just say, you can hire a loan officer assistant as a virtual assistant. You don't have to worry about bringing somebody in and having to pay them on US payroll and everything else. We also at NEXA have a virtual assistant, trained virtual assistants as LOAs and as assistants, and you can hire from the NEXA virtual assistant. I forget exactly what they charge, but it's really, really reasonable. And, just there's so many options there. So all of this can come out of your ledger funds. Okay. So as I mentioned, these are the lenders: UWM, EPM, PennyMac, NewFi, MLB, and Deep Haven. I forgot to mention that there. You can use your ledger funds for coaching. So I have done 2 different coaching programs this year that I've used my ledger funds for. And both of them, one of them was an $8,000 program and the other one was a $4,000 program. Your ledger money adds up quickly if you are closing deals and if you have people on your team. So you can use that to better yourself, to get involved in coaching programs. Any subscriptions that you have, conference tickets, marketing can be used from your ledger funds, and that's actually going to reduce your taxable income. Okay. So NEXA also offers, in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you guys the back end, but NEXAcation. So Mike Cordes is the CEO. He has several homes that I'll show you in a sec, where you can use the home, rent the home, and only pay $450 for the entire week. So if you rent one of the properties for a week, you're only paying $450 for the entire week. This is for the NEXA family. He has Jet NEXA. So if there are any legs that, private jet legs that you want to go on, first of all, you get Jet NEXA at cost. Second of all, you get it at a severely reduced rate if there's any legs and opening seats that they're not able to fill. Okay. We have Christmas parties, conferences, partnership with UWM. So UWM is our biggest lender. They're one of the biggest wholesale lenders in the US. They offer something called Success Track. And what that is for you as a loan officer, or for you to bring your referral partners. So let's just say your realtors. And they have tons of training on social media, prospecting, processing, loan processes. So you can go yourself to any of these Success Track classes, or the awesome thing is you can bring your real estate agents. So let's just say they have a class on social media marketing and it's a 2-day class. You can invite your real estate agents or your referral partners, take them out to UWM for 2 days. UWM pays for the hotel and pays for the flight. So they do not have to pay anything, and it makes you look good, which is awesome. Okay. The BDM and Reload program, I'm going to go over that in a second. So if you're a real estate agent on here, stick with me. It's coming. You can hire your own team and virtual assistants. You do not have to have your manager telling you what you can do, and you can travel around the world. So that is one thing that I do, and you don't have to get permission to travel because you're taking the company computer or whatever, because you do need to have your own computer. We just rolled out Accent Realty, so that is a brand new thing that's coming, but we have so many benefits for you that you can close so many more deals. It is so much easier to close deals on this side. I was very scared to go from the retail side to the broker side. And like I said, we're not just broker, we're broker plus non-del. That's now why we are called NEXA Lending. And I do not know how to upload files into UWM or any of the lenders that I use. My processor handles that. So basically with my process, just to give you an idea, is the loan application comes in from the people doing it online. They upload their documents. I go through their documents with them, send them a pre-approval letter. When the contract comes in, it goes to my processor. She takes it from contract to close. She is straight commission. She only gets paid if the deal closes. We are not dealing with retail processors that are on a 9 to 5, basis, and let things fall through the cracks because they can just go make an excuse to their manager as to why this or that happened. It's not like that. They have they want the deals to close just as bad as you do because they're not getting paid if it doesn't close. So you can close a lot in a lot less time and make a lot more money. So let's talk about Relo and BDM because this is not only awesome for the real estate agents and for the business development managers, but it is also awesome for us as loan officers because we now have two separate programs where these people can legally get paid from our mortgage referrals without having to do a ton of stuff. So if you're a relo, you're a real estate loan officer, okay? Now you can come on as a relo and realize, you know what? I love doing loans. I just want to do loans. I don't even care. You can then transition to an actual loan officer where you're going to make even more money, right? So as a relo, you can be 1099 or W-2. You have to get your MLO license. Okay, so you have to be licensed. What you're going to do is when you have a potential client, take the loan application. I'm going to explain in a sec how easy it will be though. Pull credit, assign it to your paired loan officer assistant, and then when the file is ready to close, help coordinate the closing, and then you will get paid the referral fee. So when I say take the loan application, when you come on my team as a relo, I give you a website. On that website has a link to your loan application. So all you have to do is send a templated email that we already have for you to your potential client, have them fill out the loan application, get the credit pulled. That email has the documents that they need. Once it enters into your system, you assign it to your paired LOA that is an experienced loan officer on my team. And that's pretty much it. You do not have to worry about anything else. We take it from there. We get them fully pre-approved. We stay in touch with them. Once we have the contract, we send it to our processor. So we do work with a processor still and go all the way, take it all the way to closing. At the end, we'll let you know when that closing is going to be. You might even be the real estate agent on the deal. So you might even be, helping, coordinating with that closing anyways. And then you get paid. I have a whole webinar on the Relo program that I will email out to you guys afterwards that really goes in detail on that program. But that is basically the overview of our Relo program. So the other business development manager program that we have is we have one for the loan officers at NEXA. So if you are struggling getting leads, you can get teamed up with a business development manager. We pair you with a BDM. You meet with them. You tell them the leads that you're looking for. You're looking for real estate agents or financial advisors or whatever in a specific area. What they do is they establish the relationship with these people. So it is now their relationship, not yours. They maintain that relationship. When you're in the loan process, they do loan status updates. The only thing you're doing is the actual loan. So it's basically like they are referring somebody to you for the loan, and then they are the ones that are going to maintain the relationship. So I don't want you to think that they find the relationship and then you have to maintain it. They're going to maintain it, and then you split the commission with them. So if you do want, this is no cost out of your pocket up front. You're only paying them when the loan closes, and they are sitting there cold calling all day long for you. They will also do this if you are looking to do an event and you're trying to get people to your event. They will make the phone calls to get people there for you. Okay. So this is NEXAcations. This is awesome. I have not been yet. I actually was just looking the other day. There's a penthouse in San Antonio. There's a giant ranch in Montana with horses. There's a house in Sedona, and there is a yacht in California. So the yacht is a sleeper yacht, and you can also hire a captain to take you out for the day. But these are the places that you literally can rent for 2 nights, 3 nights, a week, or whatever. They just changed the rules because a lot of people were taking advantage of it. So it's like you pay the cleaning fee is all you pay. But they are now doing it based on the amount of deals you close. So like if you closed 12 deals, let's just say in a year, that's 12 nights in a year that you get to use at any one of these places. So I know a lot of people that have been to Montana, that have been to Sedona and been to the San Antonio penthouse, and it's literally in the heart of the city in San Antonio, and they absolutely love it. So I'm going to show you guys the inside part of, just so you have a feel for our support. But Discover NEXA is coming up. So what we are looking for is seasoned loan officers to join our downline at NEXA. So if you're a seasoned loan officer and you're looking to be on your own, we are looking for you to join our downline. Seasoned and non-seasoned loan officers to join our team. So if you are looking to be still in a team environment, even if you're seasoned, right? Or if you have no experience, you have to either join a team or go through the training. We are also looking for relos, so licensed real estate agents, licensed loan officers, business development managers. And if you are currently a licensed loan officer, you're closing 10 plus loans per year, then come to NEXA. If you cannot come to this one, there's going to be another one. We do them almost every single month. So if you're not able to hop on this one, we can get you on the next one. It is basically we are paying for your flight there round trip. We're paying for your hotel there. We stay at the Marriott. The way that it works is, let's just say you fly in Wednesday night. Dinner is on your own. We do have a shuttle from Detroit, Detroit airport to the hotel. And then the next day is a full day, all about NEXA, how it works, everything. The CEO of the company is actually there answering questions. We usually have lunch that day. We do a fun event that night, Top Golf or like pizza party, different things like that. The following day is a half day, and then you fly home. So it's literally basically 2 full days, but it comes to 3 because you have to fly in the night before. They do make sure that you are closing deals, so I would just need your NMLS number. I did put it in the chat, so if you want to get more information on that, just message me afterwards. But it's a fully paid trip, and it really gives you a good idea, and there's no pressure at all. Like, I went in May, and I did not join NEXA until October because I wanted to make sure that I completely vetted every single possible company out there. And I probably interviewed with, I want to say, at least 15 different companies. So there's absolutely no pressure, but we would love to have you out to just like see what it's all about. It's a lot of fun, sometimes a little too much fun, but it's definitely a lot of fun. So if you want information on that,